Of Indonesia being the largest Muslim country. Who can guess what woke me up on my first morning? Yes. Really early in the morning.
Coffee.
I actually went to sleep. It was Muslim prayers, blasting from speakers from the several mosques around where we were staying. Really loud and sounded really angry. Kind of, I don't know, gives some insight into what they're praying about, I guess. So this year was my first year in mission, first mission trip ever. So I wasn't sure what to expect. It was a good experience now that I look back on it, even though I was kind of, I guess, afraid before I left. When I first heard we were going to prison, I wasn't really sure what to expect. Like, when you think of a prison, things that go through your mind: high fences, guard towers, angry guys in orange jumpsuits. Yeah, so when we got there, I was actually kind of surprised to see orange walls and a blue roof. So I really wasn't sure what to expect by then. But when we got inside, they had a chapel actually, and they held service regularly, and all the prisoners they're really passionate in their worship. They would just show up every day and worship God with all their heart. And at one of the prisons, after Vision sang and Pastor Ben spoke, I think it was Pastor Ben who spoke, I can't remember. He called the people who wanted to receive prayer up, and there's one man who's wearing orange actually. We call him the orange guy because none of us know his name. So Janine and one of the Indonesian kids, Felicia, they were praying over him, and he just started to weep, and he fell to the floor. He was on his knees, and he was practically laying out on the floor, and he was just weeping and crying. And I can't remember, what was he saying?
He was saying that he's guilty.
Right, because
of his crime that he committed. He murdered someone.
So
yeah.
Yeah, he was just on the floor. He was just crying, and he just, I don't know, he couldn't stand up. He was just overcome with emotion, and like Pastor Ben had to come over, and he prayed for him like over and over, and he would just, like, when he seemed like he stopped crying, he tried to stand up, but then he would just fall back onto the floor, and he'd start crying again. And Pastor Ben just prayed over him several times, and finally he stood up, and he was, I guess, what's the word? He came to terms with like what he did and how like God accepts him even though he did these things, and like it was just so moving that a grown man he looked pretty old, he would just, I don't know, fall to the floor and just weep in front of God, in front of everyone around him, and just be, I don't know, like laying himself open to God, and just, I don't know, indescribable. So yeah, that's all I wanted to share.